This is Julia with iCadenza, and I'm here with Kara Fox, who is a wonderful resident of Los Angeles who's involved in many really interesting projects. Hello, Kara.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Now, we were just talking about some of the projects that you're involved in, and can you talk a little bit about what you do with them and the wonderful work that you do?
Absolutely. The Love of My Life project right now is called Glamour Project. And it's an opportunity for people who are pretty much forgotten to get in touch with their most beautiful side, the side that they thought they could never capture again. And a friend of mine, Evie Shapiro, who's a psychotherapist, Evie and I go into these shelters and we bring loads of beautiful hats and scarves and jewelry and makeup. And Evie does fabulous makeup on the ladies, and I style them with hats and jewelry and furs, just everything. And I photograph them, and then I retouch their photographs so that they don't have a line or a blemish on their faces. And I do 8 by 10 prints for each lady, and I send the prints back to the shelter. And also, we've been doing plastic keychains with a before and an after photograph so that they
Wow.
can keep that as a reminder of their potential. And we are making thousands of ladies so happy, and we've done men and we've done children.
That sounds truly
It
extraordinary.
is,
It
it's
must be the
absolutely
highlight of
wonderful.
their lives.
I think for many of these women it is. One woman said last week when Evie was doing her makeup, she said, "It is so wonderful to be touched." That made us feel really good.
Oh, it must make them feel so wonderful, and so the attention that they get. I mean, this must be the one time in their lives when they had that kind of attention paid to them.
It's very extraordinary. It's very one-on-one, and we ask nothing of them. And it takes them a while to connect with the concept that we're doing this just to make them happy, and that we don't want anything in return from them. And I have always, for years, championed people who seem to be forgotten and people who people write off, in addition to people who are talented artists and musicians. And I just love how you can bring a happy moment into someone's life without trying to change them or trying to make their life better. You can just give them a happy moment.
How did you first start Glamour Project?
Glamour Project came about. There was a woman in New York who photographs homeless families, and she gave them a photograph because they had nothing at all, nothing, and she thought at least they can have a photograph of themselves. I play bingo at the downtown women's shelter, and at a bingo game, I was thinking, these women they're beautiful. I can make anyone look beautiful. And I talked to one of the directors and I asked if I could come in and make the women look beautiful and photograph them and give them photographs. And she said that would be fine. We could arrange that. And I mentioned it to Evie, who told me about the woman in New York. And she said, I'm in. And so that's it. We
And
started it, and we both are very committed.
that's so wonderful. And it's basically in the Los Angeles area that you do this? Or?
We're primarily in Los Angeles, but we now have a new partner in Boston, and she did her first Glamour project, and which is very exciting to us. I will. It's so easy. I just need to throw a camera in my bag, and I can stack hats on my head, get on a plane. I can go any place. I can do it any place.
That's so
And
wonderful.
a lot of the work is really done in the computer anyway.
Now, you mentioned music. Can you talk a little bit about your interest in music and all the work that you've done to support it over the years?
I love music. I think that music touches your soul. And I did a project in a maximum security um, facility for juvenile violent male offenders. And it was a self-esteem project. And I went in once a week and I worked with the boys. And for one of my experiments with the boys, I brought in music and I had them close their eyes and I brought in Coolio singing Gangsta's Paradise, and I brought Bach, which is my very favorite composer of all times, and I brought some middle of the road music. I brought lots of different music, and I had them close their eyes and talk to me about how they felt. And it was so interesting to see what music really does do. It does something different than any other of the arts. Carter, who I think is, I tell Carter that watching him play the piano, watching his hands dance over the keys is like watching Baryshnikov. It's like watching a ballerina. It is so exquisitely beautiful. And I was so lucky because Carter left a piano here years ago, this beautiful piano. I let him have a concert here, and he never took the piano back. Because of that, I have the golden opportunity to listen to beautiful music all the time because he comes to practice. And because of that, when he wants to have a concert, it's my absolute pleasure because I have the piano.
That's incredible.
I love what he's doing. I love that he's pushing the envelope a little bit with music, with respect to beautiful classical music. And he has achieved so much. It's been such a delight for me because I've been here and I've watched it. I've watched it grow. It's very exciting.
Now you mentioned Coolio and then Bach.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about what you think, what you think about the shift in music and whether you think classical music like Bach, for example, is still relevant?
That's a very interesting question. And I do think that Bach is relevant because his music, to me, represents a different type of organization. It's very ordered if you listen to it. And Coolio is actually very ordered too. It is, I think they share that similarity. I love the differences in music. I love the edges of music. I love Philip Glass. It's an area that is so free, and if you're really wonderful at what you do, it sounds wonderful. And sometimes even if you're not so wonderful, it sounds wonderful. It does something special. It moves the air. I think notes move the air, and it does something to us, to our psyche. It does something to our senses, and it doesn't always have to have a word that you can describe it with. It's something that is relevant. It's all relevant, and it's all important. One of the things that I particularly adore about music is that everyone finds something different. It's like with a painting. Everyone sees something different. I like that.
That's really beautiful. That's very true. Well, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for the wonderful things that you do for society here in Los Angeles.
Thank you. It's very, very gratifying.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye.